That's Bill.
What does it mean for middle powers to live the truth? First, it means naming reality. Stop invoking rules-based international order as though it still functions as advertised. Call it what it is: a system of intensifying great power rivalry where the most powerful pursue their interests using economic integration as coercion. It means acting consistently, applying the same standards to allies and rivals. When middle powers criticize economic intimidation from one direction but stay silent when it comes from another, we are keeping the sign in the window. It means building what we claim to believe in. Rather than waiting for the old order to be restored, it means creating institutions and agreements that function as described. And it means reducing the leverage that enables coercion. That's building a strong domestic economy. It should be every government's immediate priority. And diversification internationally is not just economic prudence, it's a material foundation for honest foreign policy. Because countries earn the right to principled stands by reducing their vulnerability to retaliation. We have a recognition of what's happening and a determination to act accordingly. We understand that this rupture calls for more than adequate.
My name is Yves Darbouz, and this is the Pan-African Product. I'm watching the videos coming in from Davos, and the whole time I'm thinking to myself, Pan-Africanism, the ideology that we hold dear. This ideology, based off the things that I'm hearing, Pan-Africanism, it truly can save the world. I know that our low self-esteem that's been embedded in us, the work that they've done, the propaganda we've consumed, not even knowing we were consuming propaganda, not even understanding the self-esteem disintegrating effects that media has on young people consuming what they thought was just good old-fashioned sitcoms and superhero movies. I mean, I love the movie Black Panther, cried in it. And I don't cry at funeral. Cried at the movie because I couldn't believe that what I saw was an imagining of Africa that I've never even seen anyone consider. Stan Lee, the creator of it, really did a brilliant job and always was an open-minded human being. I've gotten to meet and work with Stan Lee a couple times. We were building a social network of superheroes, and the plan could never get going because he was in his 80s. The demand that it would take on him was too much to make that work. But nonetheless, I hate talking about old clients. Let's talk about geopolitics. Geopolitics is something that Africans in general tend to run away with. We want to, whatever religion we're into, whatever form of hip hop we like, we are in depth and the best historians of battle rap. All of us are amateur GMs for basketball teams that we don't own, myself included. It can be found guilty because I do enjoy that type of talk. I think Pan-Africanism is not discussed enough, considering it truly can save the world. It truly could save the world. I don't need everyone to all of a sudden love geopolitics and be into it and talk about it every day. Neferkare Dessalines does a good job of mixing entertainment and you know, the topics of the day with Pan-African education. It's a nice mixing of the two. There's another one called Subi Shop that I really like as well. Every day he says, I'm Nigerian mix, and we talk global politics, and that's dope. And that's so inspiring for me as a channel coming behind those guys and consuming their content every day. I think we need each other to do this work. And as I was consuming not just their content, but content in general, just images coming out of Davos, and the first thing that was striking for me was it was the whitest Davos that I've ever seen before. No world leaders of color, maybe hanging around on the fringes of some Trump stuff going on, but the global South was in the crowds, not on the stages. I think that's a clear message. I think that's not on purpose, but a byproduct of rallying the troops. So what you just heard me play was the Canadian Prime Minister talking about new world orders, and basically saying, without saying it, that America is not a good partner. not a partner that you want to count on. And there needs to be new alignments, new relationships. And right after he goes and signs a trade deal with China, this is audacious things. This is we're at a pivotal moment in history, and how we live in it, and and how we execute in it. It all depends on being able to absorb reality. I am what's called a realist, in particular because I do read John Mearsheimer and I do agree with him. So I would call myself an offensive realist. Basically doesn't wait for the enemy to be on their doorstep. It understands that you are setting yourself up to be the greatest military in the world, but you need to have a military large enough, functional enough, an industrial complex of your own that creates your weapons at an affordable price, right? That was one of the master strokes of what, and I don't like master strokes. Mastermind. We're gonna go for mastermind moves. Is the fact that an American missile, every time they shoot one, sometimes cost over $1 million. They can fly their jets just so many missions before you can't fly them anymore, and they cost billions of dollars each. They are going to war against, for instance, the Houthis, right? The Houthis are overwhelming their opponents with drones that cost less than $300 US. There's some conflicting reports that say they have an under $40 drone that they make in these makeshift factories that they'll send along with a similar size, similar looking drones that may have the weapon payload, may be armed with something different, but the important part is financially it doesn't hurt them as much as it hurts the United States to deploy military all around the world. So what's happening is it's more of a show, right? It's not regime change. It's let's pick up Maduro to give off the expression of, yes, we are still the Don Road Doctrine gangsters. We'll come in here and take your leaders and disappear them. We'll change your regime. And honestly, they're not. It's not true, right? So as I'm trying to conceive the concept of what is the Pan-African state, right, and why the Pan-African state can save the world, is because China can't do it alone. China can't do it alone. That fact, that reality is what is understood throughout the world. More people would throw their hat in with China if they thought they could really beat them, or at least just drain them to the point of exhausting their $1.5 trillion military budget. Just keep sending it all over the world, giving billions of your paper money that has no value. You are $38 trillion in debt, and you're not slowing down at all. You're agreeing to any amount of funding. Just the other day, $3 billion for their partner in the Middle East, right? But China is allied with, what's the team right now? China plus Russia plus nobody. It's not India. India goes back and forth. They're not a reliable partner. Sometimes you think they're playing both sides, and that's fine. Their geopolitics has nothing to do with this. They're waiting for Africa, because Africa is the country that truly has, well, it's not a country, let's be clear, but the Pan-African state, if it was ever to be conceived, right, has all of the components. It has an intrinsic wealth. Intrinsic wealth means it comes right out of your ground. It means that you don't have to go other places, buy it, make it. You have that foundation level of economy that comes from being one of the richest continents in the world. So that's the first part, right? Then you have the population size. The population size also has an interplay with the intrinsic wealth. Large population means large market, right? So you could be, right now, every time one of the scattered, splintered African nations get sanctions, it puts their countries in a chokehold, because if they can't export, they can't live. Now imagine your market on your continent, something that you could potentially put on a truck and drive to the other side of the continent, something you could just put on a train or a cargo plane. That all those choices are there for you. You have the market size in a Pan-African state to be able to survive sanctions. The currency in itself and the way that it's designed, it makes it sanction proof, but the other component on making it sanction proof is market size. A Pan-African state would have market size. Then it would have population size, which affects military size. A Pan-African state would have the ability to field a potential military of 25 million soldiers. Think about that. Think about that. A population size large enough to allow for you to take less than 1% of the population, arm them, and revive a military tradition, create a military tradition, a warrior tradition, a warrior class, an educated military that uses not only physical might, but technology might, right? So these we have in spades. We have all of these in spades. This is not a let's every day wake up and meditate and give every African a good feeling, pause, and just align all of our chakras together to help us get our black liberation. That shit is for the birds, especially when there is a tangible way to get this done, right? We see it. We see examples. We don't want to be warlike and have warfare all the time. Of course we're going to have to fight them. That's them. The moment we become a Pan-African state, they can't tolerate it. Now they have to be going 60, 70, 80 trillion in debt. Just keep printing the money. I'm hearing 74.5 trillion in new printed cash, right? No interest rate on the money. This is the way you fight that fake economy. This is where you save the world. And you ask me how. How do you save the world when you have a bully running it? And the way you save the world is by making it not profitable to go to war. It can't be profitable to go to war if there's two large powers, not just one. When it's just the United States versus the Soviet Union, then it could go forever. It could go forever. But if there's another independent power, right? The Pan-African state, I just like writing it. I do anything to manifest it. I'll say it over and over again. I'll do the method acting thing where I'll pretend I live in it and I'm paying, for property in the Pan-African state, and I'm building wild businesses and ideas, and I'm doing it with my son and my nephews and my nieces, my goddaughter. This is the way to saving the world. Come on. Africans in the UK, you must have noticed that your country doesn't matter anymore. The French, the Canadian premier said you guys are middle powers, and recognize they don't have the strength to take on the hegemon that is the United States and its little buddy Israel. It has to become where the printing of money is at the end. How do you fight a Pan-African state? What do you blow up first? Even if you were to use nuclear missiles, and you have enough of them to do it, but what do you destroy? And what does it cost you? The Pan-African state would exist to make it the only intelligent reason is to have peace. I might as well just pay for the shit. If I'm giving a speech in Washington, I'm like, come on, you're 38 trillion in debt. If we took your money at all, and we'll take it, fine, we'll take it. But we take your money, what is it worth? It doesn't match up. Your GDP is 25 trillion. It's not 25 trillion, but let's say it's 25. Let's say it's 30 trillion. You owe 38 trillion. And 8 trillion is not a small number. It has to become unprofitable. It's not a word. It has to become a clear and evident, it already is. But Donald Trump being the reality show TV show star, a reality TV show star understands how to create the drama, and that the people are stupid and they'll believe in anything. Yeah, we destroyed Iran's ability to make a nuclear bomb. They've given the Ukraine so many weapons, and it hasn't destroyed the Russian army. And so now it's like, what do? We can't keep bombing everybody. We don't even have, let's say someone wanted to fight us. Do we even have the weapons to go to war in this country? When I say we, I am an African. I'm not unclear on that. But on my passport, I know what it says. And I know what they do. Not in my name, though. They don't have a future plan. Well, they do. It's not a promising future. A Pan-African state would make the world just buy the shit. We could not give them loans. We could trade things with them. Technology, secrets, right? We'd find ways to allow you to keep, your standards of living. But it would make more sense than going to war with the elephant, which I love to talk about as a symbol of the Pan-African state. The elephant, the large, massive country that if you mess with us, we give you the horns. With time, we'll rather hug you and touch you and be your friends with the trunk. That's us. That's the African. But if you attack us, if you're foolish enough to attack us, most lions aren't gonna do it. Three crazy lionists might just jump on your back and be annoying, but they lose that fight too. The Pan-African state would save the world. Pan-Africanism would save the world. You know why? Because it would make them finally realize that the warfare is making them broke. Why not just negotiate a deal to get the things you need at a good price? I'm positive every African member nation would want to sell it to you. Let's create another country powerful enough in this anarchic world that it's not a stalemate between two. Russia's not big enough. They don't have the population to do it. Pan-African state could. A Pan-African state can have a low-cost military industrial complex. It could follow some of the tactics that we've seen around the world. Not to attack anybody, that's not what we do. We're the elephant. We only give you the horns if you attack us. The idea here is to make it unprofitable to go to war with us. Right now it's cheap. You drop a couple of Black Hawk helicopters off of one of your aircraft carriers. They come in the night, they launch a few missiles, bombing done. We've solved it. There's no more Muslims killing Christians no more. The fanfare, the insanity, right? The Pan-Africanism, it truly could save the world. I know, Eve, you're crazy. But if your mind can conceive it, then it's possible. I know that sounds crazy, again. But if your mind can conceive it, this is not insane talk, what I'm talking about. You form this country that serves its member nations, that strength is its member nations, is its unity. You can save the world. You can create another third leg of a multipolar world that would usher in a peace for 1,000 years. And beyond that would be something different, better. I believe that. And I believe it starts with Pan-Africanism. Excuse me. My name is Eve Darbouz, and this has been the Pan-African Product.